This is must-see TV weekend ahead. There's some really good games in the National Football League. The Chargers are all excited because Harbaugh's got his health thing solved. Justin Herbert threw for a ton of yards. They're 3-3. They go to Arizona. What I worry about is this looks like an ambush in the making in the Valley of the Sun to play the Arizona Cardinals. They're 3-3. Who have you beaten? Charger fan, who have you beaten? Raiders, Carolina, which still has an NFL team, I think, and Denver in the throes of painful rebuild. Those are your 3 wins. And you got whacked by the other teams that you played. So who have you won against that is quality? They go to Arizona, and this is not going to be easy. I mean, Arizona, get this, even though they're 2-4, the Cardinals beat the Rams when the Rams were healthy. You forgot amnesia on your point. Arizona beat San Francisco.
Yeah, they did.
Arizona lost by 6, 2 field goals to Buffalo. Arizona lost by 7 to Baltimore. Arizona is more dangerous than I think anybody's paying attention to. And obviously they got Kyler Murray, and they got the 1,000-yard running back, James Conner. They hope to be able to get Marvin Harrison back off the concussion list by tomorrow's practice. They just activated one of their other wide receivers have been hurt. Suddenly, they're kind of dangerous with the skill positions offensively. One other sidebar note. Now, he can't play this weekend if they do this trade, but the rumor is the general manager of the Chargers, Joe Ortiz, is called the Jets. I'll make a conditional trade. You send me Mike Williams. We'll take on what's left in that 1-year contract. We'll give you a conditional draft pick based on how much he plays. Mike Williams is on the outside looking in after the Jets' acquisition of Davante Adams. That's not going to happen in time for the game on Sunday. By Monday, Chargers might have Mike Williams back. You know, he caught 310 passes, 31 touchdowns for the Bolts, playing for Justin Herbert, and left obviously as a free agent because the price tag was high, but he was coming off knee surgery, and he and Aaron Rodgers had not been on the same page at all. Rodgers kind of dinged him yesterday when the topic came up to Aaron Rodgers. You got all these guys to throw to, and he made a comment about Mike Williams. Somebody asked him about Mike Williams, and the ex-Charger, and he said, the guy ran the wrong route each of the last 2 games at the end of the game and wound up being an interception. In essence, is a vote of no confidence, Aaron Rodgers, towards Mike Williams. So anyhow, that's the storyline with the Chargers as they get ready to play Arizona. Rams, Raiders. This is a desperation game. Rams are 1-4. Silver and Bleak are 2-4. I guess the burning question now for the Raiders, is there life after Davante Adams? I mean, think about this whole situation. You got the volatile mouth of Antonio Pierce. And yesterday, a statement came out of his mouth. Davante Adams, gone. Next man up. I look at the roster. Who the hell's the next man? You weren't winning when you had Davante Adams, and now Adams is gone, and all you got was the 3rd-round draft pick. And their defensive front has been destroyed by injuries. Max Crosby's back. He, of course, had a bruised knee. They lost Christian Wilkins, who I thought was the most critical acquisition at defensive tackle. And both their right defensive ends, knee surgery, gone for the year. They're a mess. Today, Rams, Cooper Kupp went through his first full run practice because he's had a knee injury. He's been out since preseason camp. We'll see if he's ready to play on the weekend. Of course, there is no Puka Nacua. Here's the other thing that's stunning. You know, life after Aaron Donald with the Rams. Their legendary Pro Bowl defensive tackle retired, and then they traded their starting linebacker, Ernest Jones. The Rams are giving up 373 yards a game on defense.
Wow.
Just getting hammered. Running backs are averaging 4.8 yards per rush. Opposing wide receivers, 13 yards per catch.
Wow.
And the Rams defense has already given up 17 touchdowns in 5 games this season. The Rams are not good. So you got Rams versus the Raiders desperation game. Green Bay, Houston. Oh, that's going to be a doozy. Texans are averaging 375 yards per game. C.J. Stroud has thrown 10 touchdown passes already this season. The Bengal refugee running back Joe Mixon is averaging 5.3 yards per carry. Jordan Love's got 12 touchdowns already for the Packers, and he's not played the whole season because of the knee injury. You got Josh Jacobs, and their wideouts in Green Bay are averaging 13 yards per catch. Houston, Green Bay, must-see TV. NFC North, that is Detroit that goes to play at Minnesota. I'll tell you, it's going to be tough for the Lions, though. They lost Aiden Hutchinson with a badly broken leg, the defensive end. Then they lost his running mate inside, the defensive tackle, with a season-ending injury. It's weird. Detroit has been known for the last 3 years in this rebuild for their defense. We're going to punch you in the mouth. Jared Goff in the offense, and I wasn't aware of this till he did some research last night. They're averaging 416 yards a game. Detroit is on offense. That's not been the way they've played. So they're really good. They're really dangerous. And Sam Darnold at home, wow. Vikes are 5-0. Darnold's got a 103 quarterback rating, 11 touchdown passes this season. Now, Vikings are going on the road. Vikings play 4 of their next 6 on the road after this weekend's game. So, Detroit, Minnesota. I think you want to probably watch that. Kansas City, San Francisco. Interesting question here. Chiefs record 5-0. Ready for this? Patrick Mahomes this season has thrown only 6 touchdowns and has thrown 6 interceptions. The Chiefs are not what they used to be offensively, of course, because of all the injuries at wide receiver. And they've kind of made it a tight end offense. Now, granted, they're averaging 354 yards per game, but they're not scoring a ton of points. It's become a tight end offense, Kansas City. Frisco, Brock Purdy, over 1,600 yards passing, got 9 touchdowns already. Mr. Irrelevance got a quarterback rating of 100 on the nose. I mean, he is playing really well, and they're doing all this without Christian McCaffrey. Your running backs are averaging 5 per carry. Wide receivers are averaging 13 yards per catch. And it's all because Purdy is just making a ton of plays. So Kansas City, Frisco is worth watching. And then you got Baltimore, Tampa Bay, the other must-see game. You know, we need 3 TVs in here
Yeah, we
Sunday.
do. Yeah, we do.
Just get that done, would you?
All right.
Baltimore, Tampa Bay. They're going to break the scoreboard. Baltimore's averaging. Baltimore, known for its defense. Baltimore, run the football, play defense.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore's averaging 453 yards a game.
Wow.
Lamar Jackson, 67% completion. He's got a 108 quarterback rating, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks. Derrick Henry's averaging almost 6 yards per carry. So Baltimore is just rolling. But then Tampa has got Baker Mayfield. I bet you didn't know, because I didn't know. Mayfield's thrown 15 touchdown passes already this season. Mayfield's got a 109 quarterback rating. He's become a cult figure on the Sun Coast. And his 2 receivers, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, between them got 68 catches and 10 touchdown catches already, just 5-6 games into the season. So, man, there's some great games. I'll be here at 6 a.m. to watch it with you starting on Sunday. It's cool. John, pick a game you want to talk about. Go ahead.
Yeah, you talked about the Arizona Cardinals, and that's an interesting team to watch, because how long has it been since Kyler Murray came out of college football? I mean, he was the Heisman Trophy winner.
3 or 4 years.
3 or 4.
He's had injuries. He was hurt a lot last year. Running quarterbacks get dinged. He got dinged, but he's back healthy. And then they went out and they got Marvin Harrison, and they got the heavy-duty running back. And they've got a couple of other young wide receivers now coming off. It just got activated. So, and to me, they're dangerous. You look at Arizona, say, crap season. Well, not quite. They pulled off 2 surprise wins, and 2 of the other big boys they played, they lost by a touchdown or less.
Yeah, that's another franchise that rarely ever wins. They made the Super Bowl maybe once about, 8 or 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see that team do well, but the Chargers will be interesting to see how they perform, because Justin Herbert was throwing the ball a lot more last weekend.
Yeah, very much so. So they're going to make it a throwing contest. Can the Chargers hold up to all the things if Murray's got all of his people on the field? This to me, despite Harbaugh and all the semantics and all the sales pitches, this could be an ambush game.
Well, I saw someone post online that the next 5 or 6 games for the Chargers are against teams that they can beat. I mean, if they run the table here, they could be in good shape. So, yeah, this is the first of that step. Maybe it is an ambush.
But what did I say at the onset of this segment? Who the hell have they beaten?
Yeah, that's true, too. Yeah.
So interesting there. But, man, Green Bay, Houston, Detroit, Minnesota, Chiefs, Niners, Baltimore, Tampa Bay. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a replay of the Super Bowl with the Chiefs and Niners. I'm going to definitely watch that. And it is just so darn impressive. Brock Purdy just continues to prove that he was the real deal. It wasn't just a fluke thing that first year. So that's incredible. So the other game I'm interested in, aren't the Vikings also undefeated? Is this a matchup of two undefeated teams in that game?
Yep.
Something's got to give.
Somebody's going to lose.
Yeah.
That's the NFC North at its best. And we haven't seen a lot of great NFC football in recent years.
Yeah, the Norris division.
So those are hot topics on the table. We